So we've got the subfloor exposed. I'm kind of concerned about the actual subfloor structure. The main header plate here is a little weak. Still got some solidity to it. That section of the floor isn't the best looking. I think I'm gonna get a chunk of 3/4 plywood and then just replace a small section of it here. It doesn't come back too far, but I'd like to see this stronger, especially with a new box sill sitting on top of it. Got a floor joist here. We should have another one somewhere in this area. If we cut out and just replace the 16 by 16 section. That's still solid-ish over here. Bottom of this is nice and solid, so I think we're okay there, but I'd rather see that fixed, especially since we've got a hole down into the next floor. That's going to be the ceiling in the living room. This is an outside wall, so it is somewhat of a support wall. I'd rather see it done right. All right, I'm all back from the hardware store, which is fortunately less than a half a mile away. That's always convenient. And I'm ready to replace this section of subflooring that we found when we removed the box sill. It's pretty rotten here. And I just picked up a small section of plywood. The 3/4 inch was only 15 bucks. A lot easier than buying a whole sheet, which I don't need. I just need a little section here. So I am going to mark and cut from one floor joist to the next, and then just cut out a small section. I'll just pull the carpet back. That'll give me my strength across, and it'll close up that gap that we have there right now. I'd be happier if I could replace that header board, but that's way too big a project for what I'm doing right now. Perhaps sometime in the future, it'll most likely be okay the way it is. There's still strength left, still quite a bit of strength left to it there. It's just this little top piece that's rotted, and it's only this one little section here. And if I replace this rotted subfloor, that should alleviate any structural issue that we have there. It's just this piece right here. So set the camera up and we'll start digging into it. Alright, so we got that exposed. It looks better than I hoped, so that's not too bad. Just right there in the center where it's a bit rotted there. So I am going to cut a piece to fit this hole of the 3/4 inch plywood that I just got. We'll fill that in, we'll screw it down, and then we'll put our subfloor piece on. This still has some decent meat to it. I think that piece will be fine. Also discovered it goes in faster if you have the drill going the right direction. And unfortunately, I need to go get the better saw blade so that I can cut the 2x6s. That warped plywood blade that we have in there right now is not going to cut it, literally. So I'll head over to the old house, grab my better carbide tip saw blade, and then we can start cutting out the new box seal to go in here. And we also need to cut out this area up here and get that all clean and ready to go. So this next cut is going to be a little tricky. This board here is the side of the chimney wall. I need to expose that. This sheeting is all rotted, and then this board here is the actual wood siding, which seems solid. So I'm going to set the blade height down so I can cut just behind that sheeting, the siding rather. I'm going to cut this chunk out here, replace that section there, get where I can see the side of the chimney to see if there's anything I need to do with that. You can see up into the eaves there, and that's part of the header board I need to replace. But first I need to get this exposed. Okay, that cut was very successful. We can see the siding here. This is the outside siding. We can see the wood on the side of the chimney, or what's left of it, as well as the 2x4. The rot only goes just up past the roof line. It needs to be replaced, but we don't have the opportunity to do that right now without taking down that whole chimney. So we've got two big sections of siding to remove and repair, and that main section on the inside of the chimney wall to fix. Let's get to it. Now I'm going to sister a 2x4 onto this weakened piece here, just to give it some strength, and then I can put my 2x6s back in place and work on my sheeting and getting that in place. I'm probably going to put the sheeting here first because I can support it and screw it to that. Just like slide it in, and then I only have this piece of sheeting to figure out. So I'll cut sheeting to fit this hole here and screw it from this side. There is some meat in the back side of that 2x4, a rounded one, so I can feel its strength and it's drawing the 2x4 in when I sistered on there. But I'm still glad I'm putting it on just for the extra strength. Section, this piece is going to be a little tricky. I need to basically create a plug that I can slide into place that's going to have the siding and the 2x4s already attached. So what I'm going to do is take these sections of 2x4 that I cut up, screw them to the back side so I make sure my plug doesn't fall through, screw them to the back side, and then push my plug into place and screw it in from the sides. We are all sealed again. Got all the siding replaced, all the rotted timber replaced. We have a nice 2x6 boxdale. Replace the rotted section at the top. We are good to go. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for the rest of the projects.